Life, biological things, value information, give different values to information. In the last video I made, I told you that the universe values all information the same. It values the electron the same as you, and it values you the same as it values the stars. And it values gold as much as it values water, and it values a diamond as much as it will value a star. You understand? Everything, it values all information the same, But we know that all information, everything is in a relationship, all information, everything's in a relationship. That's how we come from the most basic piece of information we have verified, the basic particles, and they come together and they make atoms. They get into a relationship and make atoms, and then those atoms get into a relationship and make molecules. You understand? And all these relationships take energy to maintain, so life is also in a relationship. It's created by a relationship of basic, particles coming together, making elements, making molecules, and a long, long process. We are here. Not only are we here, but the grass is here. Bacteria is here. And all life needs energy, to survive. That's why life gets energy from consumption. That's why all life has to value information differently, because it needs energy to sustain itself. A mangrove tree values being in a watery environment, you understand. While an oak tree has a different variation. It demands certain different temperatures and less water, but different soil structures. You can't grow pineapples everywhere, because the pineapple needs certain amount of sunlight. It needs certain amount of soil, water, special kind of soil. So you can't grow it anywhere. So the pineapple values the information where it can grow. The pineapple seed. You can plant a pineapple seed or many things in the desert and they won't grow. Viruses value certain information more than other information. Being parasites, they value living things, so that they can feed off them, like a mosquito. While the universe values a tree and a human the same, as a mosquito will value a human being more than a tree, because it can go and suck the blood of that human, or suck the blood of other mammals or living things, you understand? So we value information differently. A human being will value a berry we can eat instead of a berry that will give us poison. We value the two differently. But the universe, they're both berries. One is poisonous, one is not poisonous, but it's not poisonous to the universe. The universe says, if things happen like this, like this, like this, you'll end up with a poisonous berry. You'll end up with a berry you can eat. So we, though, as humans, we have to value them differently to get our energy. One berry will give us energy, another one will kill us. Same with mushrooms. We value mushrooms differently. Some mushrooms will kill you, some will not kill you. You understand? So we value information differently because of that. And then we can study how it is we value this information, For example, a blue whale. A blue whale will value being in a deep ocean rather than in a lake, because it needs that buoyancy from a deep ocean. That's value. Life, biological entities are not the universe. They need energy from the universe. So they value information differently. And when you become a human being, you start valuing all sorts of information, because not only that, you can make things and value it. You will value a new car more than a 5-year-old car. You understand? We've put value into information because of how we use it and how it's created. We value gold more than we value coal. But the universe doesn't do that, because the meteorites, asteroids made of gold. It's not like it's something scarce, to the universe. The planets, where they say it rains diamonds. You just go around, because the universe itself doesn't value things differently. You understand? But to you and me, a diamond, well, that's a great source of something to preserve wealth so that we can sell it and buy food. Ultimately, the first thing is to have food in you so that you can enjoy everything else. You know what I mean? That's why people cheat each other. Because of the valuation of information. When somebody takes your deeds, they want you to starve, and they eat, so that they have priority on the table of good quality food over you, no matter what excuse they give. This is why humans go to war, because of the valuation of information. We value it differently. This is why lions, when they meet, they fight. This is a nice area for lions. There's lots of buffalo. There are lots of zebras. It's next to a watering hole. Well, you don't want too many lions there. You want your own lions to grow properly, So you fight those other lions to keep them away to your food source, to the energy source. That's why, wild animals have territories of their own kind. They chase their own kind away, because they say, no, sure, get along with you, fine, but these zebras are for us. There might not be enough for all of us. Now, if you start eating the zebras here, we'll end up with nothing. But what about my kids? They have to eat too, so the lions will fight. The tigers will fight. You understand? Because of the territory, because of the way life values information. Roses need a particular kind of soil. Dandelions need a different kind of soil. You understand? Different conditions. Flies like poo. But most creatures don't like poo, But flies breed in poo. That's why sewages, there's always flies flying around. That's why when elephants shit, there's always flies there. And they're like dead things, maggots, Because we value information differently, A rabbit values grass to eat. While an eagle does not value grass as much as a rabbit, because it's going to eat the rabbit. It values the rabbit more than the grass. And eating the rabbit will give the eagle sustenance. It's all about getting nutrients at the end of the day, and security of getting nutrients, because you can't be alive the next day without nutrients. Come on, be realistic. At the core, we have to value information differently so that we get nutrients and get energy to sustain our relationships.